California is a massive agricultural state, not just in the United States, but it's actually a massive agricultural economy globally. And what California might say or do could have ripple effects beyond California, not just from a United States perspective, but from a global perspective. So how California defines regenerative agriculture actually has global implications for the entire movement. So as small as California might seem, it has a lot of weight to throw around. Kudos to everybody in that room for showing up and having what to me felt like a relatively productive conversation that wasn't necessarily like claws out. And I do feel like there was some level of empathy, understanding, and legitimate listening that took place. And it was like truly an honor just to be in the room with these various organizations that have wildly different interpretations of these terms.
But they're all people that are doing amazing work that's really important. So that's the most interesting piece. And I think, sorry to cut you off, but like the word empathy stood out to me so much. And I found myself feeling so empathetic to really all sides, that even we're in disagreement with each other. And I was like, God, I just heard that person and that makes so much sense. And I totally understand why they're saying that. And then someone might say the complete opposite thing. And I'd be like, God, that makes so much sense. And I totally understand why they're saying that.
If anyone can just throw regenerative on the label and say, hey, this incentivizes regenerative practice, and it's really like, 0.1% of what they're actually doing, should they be able to make that claim? And that I think is some of the big tension points in some of the other bigger regenerative certifications. That's what they're worried about. And I very much understand that concern. But to your point, I very much agree that we need to figure out whether it's a tiered system or not, how we provide that market validation for brands who are trying to do the right thing. If regenerative has to be organic, and if people have to pay a premium for regenerative products, the impact the movement can make for both human and planetary health is going to be significantly diminished. And unless we can start to incentivize arable land in mass to adopt these principles and practices, we are not going to mitigate and or reverse climate change. And we are not going to make a significant impact on improving human health. And if we're not doing those two things, what are we doing?
We have to solve for three things at once. At the very top, we have to solve for giving validation and supporting the absolute pinnacle of the work so that it can continue and realize the value it deserves at the very top. 100%. In the middle, we have to incentivize and validate that there is constant progress happening to reach that pinnacle. And then at the very bottom, we have to make it achievable, worthwhile, and incentivized to get on the path and get to levels 2 and 3.